Live from clickorlando.com, News 6 Plus, and WKMG. We're getting results in your neighborhood now at 6:30 p.m.
One common goal is to protect the shoreline and create a better habitat offshore.
Now at 6:30, it's a first-of-its-kind project to get results, shoring up the coastline, a major road, and building up an ecological treasure. How working together is getting results. Good evening. This is News 6 at 6:30, getting results. Thank you for joining us here live on News 6 Plus. I'm Ginger Gadsden.
And I'm Justin Mormon. Well, it's a booming local neighborhood praised as a great place to live, shop, and work. And that is no accident. Baldwin Park was planned that way from the beginning.
There is an opportunity to perhaps recraft how some of that growth occurs. When people really love a place, they stay close to home.
I got to ask one of the chief architects of the master plan community just why Baldwin Park is such a success and what lessons others can learn from its transformation from a naval training center to a center of good living. That's all ahead in my Boomtown report. Also ahead.
I'm not going to curse. We're going to get through this together.
Well, he grew up in Osceola County, but traffic troubles in one part of his hometown get Trooper Steve's blood boiling. We'll tell you the reason in our top trending headlines.
But we start now at 6:30 tonight with breaking news. If you live near Rosemont, Winter Park, or Maitland, you may be smelling smoke. It's coming from a small brush fire. Someone from the News 6 digital team snapped this picture of the smoke, and you can see that large tower in the background there. Well, it's so close to us. That's our broadcast tower here at News 6. The fire is burning off of Orange Blossom Trail near Clarcona-Ocoee Road. We're waiting to hear how it started and learn more on just how big it is. And with the brush fire danger growing, extreme heat and little rain relief, 2 more local counties have put burn bans in place this week. That means nearly all burning is forbidden throughout Seminole and Osceola counties. They joined Brevard County, which has put its ban in place earlier this month. So how do these bans help, and what is still safe? News 6's Emily McLeod got answers from local emergency management officials.
Seminole County and Osceola County have both put burn bans into place. Tell me, what do the conditions have to be like in order to get to that point?
Sure. So we look at the drought index for our county, and once it reaches 500, in consultation with the National Weather Service and the fire departments of Seminole County, we determine if it's the right opportunity for us to go ahead and issue the burn.
Emergency manager for Seminole County, Alan Harris, says if lightning were to strike during a storm right now in Seminole County, it could start a wildfire similar to what we saw a few days ago over in Brevard County at the Merritt Island National Wildlife Refuge.
This just occurred in Brevard County not too long ago, so we want to make sure that we protect ourselves here in Seminole County.
We wanted to know more about how our weather conditions here are impacting the wildfire threats we're seeing, so we popped into the studio before showtime to talk to News 6 meteorologist Samara Kakinas. Tell us more about what we've been experiencing here.
So without, daily rain that we get in the summertime where we don't see where we're in that deficit, that rainfall deficit, what we end up seeing are really dry conditions.
Samara says low humidity levels are also playing a part in an increased fire risk.
When you have relative humidity levels, when they go really, really low, that's actually a bad thing. So because all it takes is one little spark from somebody burning, some debris in their yard, and it just will spread like literally a wildfire because of all the dry vegetation. So we need those relative humidity levels to go up in order for that wildfire threat to go.
In Seminole County, Emily McLeod, getting results, News 6.
So what we really need is some rain relief. Yeah. And doesn't it feel like the summer shower should have started by now?
You would think so.
Yeah.
You would think so. I mean, it's certainly hot enough for that to happen. Finally, there could be some rain coming. Chief Meteorologist Tom Sorrells joins us now. Not going to be a deluge, though, Tom.
Not a deluge at all. What is today's date? I'm looking at my watch.
It's like the 29th.
Okay, it's supposed to start on May 27th, traditionally.
Okay.
We normally get that big rainy season going by May 27th. That is not the case this go around. East Coast Sea Breeze thinks it is. It's rolled all the way into the heart of the viewing area here. Central part of the viewing area from Kissimmee, the metro, all up through Orlando. Here's your East Coast Sea Breeze. So normally, by this time of night, I'm sitting going storm, 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 but not this time. We're so dry. Our drought monitor comes out again tomorrow. We'll get the new update tomorrow afternoon. I think it's going to expand right on out. It's just hot. and it's dry. And because of that, the wildfire threat is the real deal. If you're smelling smoke, it's because of a wildfire, probably. Tomorrow's humidity level, a little bit higher than today's, and on Friday, a little bit higher than that. Overall, looking ahead tonight, well, okay, it's hot, it's dry, it's sunny. 96 degrees currently in Orlando, 91 within the next few minutes, all the way down to 88 by 8 p.m. by 9 o'clock, 84. I'll be right back to Pinpoint. Tonight's overnight low, tomorrow's smoking daytime high, and when we finally will dial this number back to normal. See you in a few.
Tom, thank you. Another big story tonight. We are seeing what led a police officer to shoot and kill a Volusia County man. We first told you about the shooting as breaking news last night right here at 6:30. The officer says the man lunged at him with a knife. Tonight, we are seeing body camera video from the officers and hearing 911 calls. Volusia Sheriff Mike Chitwood says this was a fast-moving and dangerous situation involving a man with a mental illness.
Last night around 5 o'clock or so, the call came out of a schizophrenic man with a knife.
Before they arrived, the man's mother called warning Holly Hill police her son was threatening to stab a woman with a knife, and he was threatening to hurt officers. That man, Michael Edmondson, called 911 himself.
I have a steak knife.
Steak knife, okay. Can you put that away?
Yeah, I don't want to. I'm going to kill you with it.
And says he's armed with a knife and he's going to kill a person by the name of Nicole. And then you hear in the background this screaming noise of a woman screaming just as Holly Hill officer pulls up.
Hello?
Holly Hill police officer retreats and eventually fires 2 shots, a couple shots, puts him down.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Even though he's wounded, and comes after the Holly Hill officer again, and Holly Hill officer shoots him another 5, 6, 7 times.
Now, this all happened in the middle of Ridgewood Avenue. No one else was hurt. The man died right there at the scene. The officer is currently on administrative leave. A reminder, the sheriff's office temporarily took over management of Holly Hill Police amid an investigation into several police leaders. That started back in March. The sheriff tells News 6 that investigation should wrap up soon.
Well, with Central Florida in desperate need of more housing, many want developers to look to a neighborhood that's one of our area's biggest turnaround stories. In the 40s, it was the Orlando Army Air Station. In the 60s, the Navy took over. And when the Orlando Naval Training Center closed in 1997, Orlando spent almost a decade making sure what is now Baldwin Park was built right. It is just south of Winter Park, just north of Orlando Executive Airport and Colonial Drive. And I got to meet one of the town architects who made it an award-winning place to live, play, and work. Sprinkled throughout the Baldwin Park neighborhood are signs of the past. For decades, this area was used for military purposes, most notably a naval training center, until it was shut down in the 90s.
At that point, the city of Orlando got proactively involved in trying to determine what would happen as this former Naval Training Center was redeveloped.
Redeveloped into a walkable, live, work, play neighborhood that's now home to 10,000 residents. A vision from the city of Orlando implemented by Jim Constantine and the town architects at LRK.
And that's what makes it incredibly unique, is that ability for a walkable lifestyle, all with a great degree of urbanism and we think pretty nice design in terms of architecture, landscape.
And the live, work, play that Baldwin Park provides is something that I got to experience firsthand. I used to live in this building. This is called Baldwin Harbor. And once I got home from work and the car was parked in the parking garage, there was no need to leave because I have Publix I can walk to over here, dry cleaning, tons of dining options, really great restaurants right along New Broad Street, and then obviously the proximity to Lake Baldwin. But when folks do leave the Baldwin Park bubble, they often don't go very far. I've talked to several business owners, small business owners, restaurant owners who own their businesses around the Baldwin Park area, and they give a lot of credit to their success because of the success of Baldwin Park and the people who do live here and frequent their businesses. How does that make you feel, just on a personal note, to have a hand in the design of a neighborhood that's has this halo effect?
You know, it's very gratifying. I think it also probably speaks a bit when people really love a place, they stay close to home.
Something else that has led to Baldwin Park's success is the diversity of housing options that you can find in this neighborhood. We're along New Broad Street right now. This is a street that is just lined with $1 million homes. And then you also have a different option. You have condos as well, and down the street, apartments. And as new communities are designed in our growing region, Constantine believes developers can draw inspiration from the Baldwin Park blueprint.
There is an opportunity to perhaps recraft how some of that growth occurs, and Baldwin Park is really a perfect balanced model of how you can have housing, shopping and services, education, as well as employment all in one location.
Wow.
Such a great place to live.
No, I can tell you, I was almost your neighbor because when I was first looking for a place to live, when I moved here, that was my first choice. I mean, you talk about going around the lake. I have a little dog, and it's a perfect walking path. I bike, perfect biking
it truly
path.
is a bubble,
Everything.
isn't it?
It really is.
And Ginger, I think you know this. It's been a while since Baldwin Park has added to the housing mix, right? But that's about to change. A 223-unit, 5-story apartment complex under construction right now at the site of the former Fairwinds Credit Union, right along Lakemont, Prospect Avenue right there. That should be ready this time next year. And the developers at LRK, they're also responsible for Celebration and Oakland Park. They have their hand in the new mixed-use development called Wild Oaks.
It's like, oh my gosh, it's like they know what they're doing or something.
I know. They are very successful. I mean, you go to Baldwin Park and it's tough. You go there and you're like, I can see myself here. And I think so many people can say that, and not to mention around Halloween. One of the most popular places to go trick-or-treating.
That and Christmas.
It's because
to look
of
at
the
lights,
walkability, though.
I'm telling you. Oh, I forgot to mention there was a wine bar right around the corner,
They
too.
got everything.
Every single thing. All right, great job, Justin.
Thanks.
Well, a different kind of rebuilding project hopes to rejuvenate an ailing ecological treasure in Brevard County. Now, with hurricane season just days away, a first-of-its-kind program is kicking off to both restore the Indian River Lagoon and protect the shoreline there. This work is centered on the Titusville Causeway, which has seen many years of erosion. And as News 6's Mark Lehman shows us, what leaders hope will be a permanent solution is on the way.
2, 3.
It's a first-of-its-kind project for the state of Florida happening along the Titusville Causeway.
That means everything working together towards one common goal. One common goal is to protect the shoreline and create a better habitat offshore.
Dr. Andrew Reese is with Sea and Shoreline. They're leading the charge on a $4.2 million multi-habitat resiliency project.
It all started with DOT and Brevard County starting to lose their shoreline and part of the causeway.
Part of the solution is deploying what are called wave attenuation devices, or WADs. They're designed to absorb wave energy that's generated from severe storms.
That energy will come through here, but any sediment that's in the water column, is pretty heavy, any sand, it's going to fall out behind it.
One of the first steps of this project is fabricating these wave attenuation devices. Concrete will be poured for 648 of them. They'll then be placed along the shoreline to protect from current and future erosion. But the WADs are just part of the solution. Sand will be brought in to restore the shoreline, along with 4 acres of seagrass and 1 million clams will be added to the Indian River Lagoon.
And that seagrass is the underwater rainforest that provides all the habitat for the fish and critters that we love, the diversity and abundance of this lagoon.
Virginia Barker is the director of Brevard County's Natural Resources Office. She says the much needed changes will enhance the water quality of the lagoon and habitat for wildlife. The project tackling several issues and expected to be finished next spring.
It's a very multi-purpose project, right? We're trying to accomplish a lot of things all at once.
In Titusville, Mark Lehman, Getting Results, News 6.
Got to protect it.
You have to, and working in Brevard County for a few years when I first started here, the Indian River Lagoon was in such peril, but to see it make the strides it seems it's making is such a relief because it's such an important waterway.
Yeah, and it's a trend we see happening in Central Florida with waterways and the big improvements there.
Yes.
Now, Mark's story is one of our, speaking of trending, top trending headlines on clickorlando.com. Also trending, the legal saga surrounding the world's #1 golfer has come to an end. The headline, charges against world's top golfer Scottie Scheffler were dropped after arrest outside PGA Championship. Now, Scheffler was charged with a felony, accused of assaulting a police officer with his vehicle while headed to a tournament in Kentucky earlier this month. The 27-year-old said it was a big misunderstanding, but was handcuffed and taken to jail. Today, prosecutors asked to drop the charges. Starting after a review of the case, they found Scheffler's account of what happened was corroborated by the evidence.
you see that happen in real time and you go, surely he's not going to be charged. And it went this long.
This far.
And this far, and then the evidence comes out and you see the video that kind of contradicts what was out there, and it corroborates Scotty Scheffler, and it's not that surprising. So maybe we can all put this behind us.
Let's hope so.
Well, it's an area many of you described as a headache, talking about Point Siena Boulevard and US 192. It's also proof even pros can get frustrated on the roads. Here's what happened when Trooper Steve on patrol checked out the busy intersection in Osceola County, and needless to say, Steve also shared a lot of your same frustrations.
I've got nothing nice to say about traffic in Kissimmee or Point Siena. Zero, nada, zilch, blah, whatever. I don't speak any other language, but nothing. So as you're approaching here, there's a serious curvature in the roadway. This curve has been here since I was a kid. I remember taking it as a kid. I remember taking it as a trooper. Now I'm doing it with you guys. So hard turn to the right. And if you wanted to head west on 192, meaning make a left, you're going to catch up on traffic fast. So you need to be ready for it. Look, it's already coming to a stop here. So you only have one left turn lane up here. So traffic builds heavy. And I'm sure we're going to see it, maybe not, because this construction truck might help us out in theory, is drivers will get into that turn lane and then realize they're about 10 cars back. And then you've got, oh my gosh, people diving in and out. Listen, I have to be careful. I've already had a talk with Donovan, our producer on News 6 Plus. I'm not going to curse. We're going to get through this together.
Donovan curses all the time. You should see.
You know him?
You can ask Steve to visit your traffic trouble spots by sending him an email to asktroopersteve@wkmg.com. Another soon-to-be top trending story, hurricane season is coming fast.
So is Central Florida ready? Well, ahead on News 6 at 6:30, we've learned a major project aimed at getting results and easing flooding is behind schedule and won't be ready this year. How one county is making sure there is some relief for families living in the area.
And just into News 6, Starliner is a go for launch. What NASA and Boeing are saying about launching the space taxi without fixing a helium leak.
And remember, speed cameras were just installed in front of an elementary school where drivers were blasting through. Well, they are getting results, but not in the way the police chief expected. We'll explain the reason up next. You're watching News 6 at 6:30 live on News 6 Plus. We're getting results in Cocoa Beach, DeBerry, and all of Central Florida. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Now at 6:30 and only on 6 tonight, a surprise in one Lake County town, the first ever in Florida to install speed cameras and send out tickets to drivers who speed through a school zone. The cameras were installed in front of Eustis Elementary School back in February.
Yeah, and the Eustis police chief says speeding was so bad he worried for kids' safety. He says some drivers were tearing through, get this, 80 miles an hour. Well, the cameras have been active, and they've been issuing $100 tickets now for almost 2 months. News 6 anchor Eric Von Anken asked the chief how the cameras are getting results and protecting our community, and what happened is not what the chief expected.
This one right here, this gray car right here. Look right here, this one. That's got to be almost 60. The mail truck's going pretty good. Easy 55. Yeah, easy 55. Slow down.
We've had now three cars in the last few seconds come through.
Come over the speed, so it's a problem.
The Eustis Police Chief, Craig Capri, standing on the sidewalk in his uniform in front of the speed cameras under the school zone signs, did not slow down drivers. And keep in mind, it's been about 4 months now since the speed cameras were installed and more than a month since they started sending out $100 tickets.
In about 5 weeks since the cameras went live, you've issued
over 1,300 citations.
1,300 tickets.
Yes.
Does that blow you away?
It did. I didn't think it would be that high, honestly.
You warned people for about a month.
Yes.
And clearly they still didn't get the message.
I figured the warning would have sent a message, and hopefully they would have, curtailed that behavior. Evidently that didn't do the job. I think once they get hit in the wallet, in the pocketbook, people are going to realize $100 is a lot of money. And let me tell you, some of my cops have had tickets. Some of our city crews have had tickets. Elected officials have tickets. They all got to pay.
And Chief, aren't these drivers going through here pretty much the same drivers who do this every single day?
Yeah, most people take the same route. We've had one gentleman get 5 tickets in 2 days.
What does it say to you that you had a guy speeding through here in 2 days 5 times?
It sounds like a guy that doesn't know what's going on, and that's a problem.
You're worried about a kid getting hurt?
Yes, that's my biggest fear.
And it seems like that number, those 1,300 tickets, really showed you the problem.
Yeah, it backed up the data that there was, based on the speed study, that there's a speeding problem here.
And suddenly, with all of the tickets going out, there's a whole bunch of cash now coming into the city. Money that Eustis never expected it would be getting because they thought drivers would slow down. So the chief tells me he's going to spend that new cash on public safety, hiring 2 more crossing guards, putting in more signage, and 2 more schools come the start of the school year are going to get those speed zone cameras. An elementary school and right here, the 9th grade center. Protecting our community in Eustis, Eric Von Anken getting results. News 6.
Starliner's long-delayed first crewed flight is a go for liftoff this weekend. NASA, Boeing, and United Launch Alliance made that announcement just about 2 hours ago after a day-long readiness review.
All right, so the NASA astronauts who will make history as the first to fly the space taxi are back at the Cape, talking about Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams. They arrived at Kennedy Space Center yesterday so they could take part in launch preps and today's readiness review. Boeing's last launch attempt was scrubbed May 6th after a valve problem on the rocket. Crews then discovered a helium leak on Starliner. NASA says that leak is small enough that it is safe to launch without fixing it.
The Atlas V rocket and Starliner are set to roll back out to the pad tomorrow. Boeing, NASA, and ULA are currently targeting this Saturday, June 1st at 12:25 in the afternoon. We, of course, will have live coverage before, during, and after the launch on air and streaming right here on News 6 Plus, clickorlando.com, and the News 6 YouTube channel.
We are less than 1 week out from the official start of hurricane season, and Orange County says a project designed to prevent flooding in Orlo Vista won't be finished until next year, and it's hard to forget these images.
Yeah, that's for sure. Homes in that West Orange County neighborhood had several feet of water inside of them after Hurricane Ian hit in 2022. News 6 reporter Catherine Silver found out a new pump station is delayed, but improvements are in place that should help get results.
First, it was the rain and the rescues. Then, for many in Orlo Vista, Hurricane Ian became a disaster that unfolded in slow motion.
I'm looking at an old lamp there that belonged to a friend's grandmother.
Days of water inside homes and the devastation left behind.
Can't even think about it because I'll start crying.
2 years later, and there are still traces of what was. There is also transformation. A drainage improvement project started last spring, but won't be done this year.
While great progress has been made, there has been a delay procuring the new pump station components.
Orange County says supply chain issues are to blame. We were there to ask questions as they showed us their new and improved emergency operations center.
Families in Orlo Vista went through Irma and then Ian, and now we have the forecast for this year. Is the county really prepared?
We are providing the flood storage volume.
That is a monumental project that this county has done, not to conclusion yet, but to accomplish what has been accomplished in just a very short matter of time is absolutely remarkable.
A bird's eye view shows you what has been done. They've dug out enough debris to fill over 23,000 dump trucks.
When a hurricane or a large storm is forecasted several days out, we'll have two 12-inch portable pumps will drain the pond to their bottom elevation.
The increased capacity is more than double what it was.
The volume there that it will hold right now would have substantially helped.
The county calls Ian a lesson and says they are listening.
Our failure would be if we didn't learn from it, because now we know that can occur. We're prepared today if a hurricane hits us.
The county is also bringing in portable pumps that will work alongside the existing pump station in the meantime. So this hurricane season, these ponds will have the capacity to handle nearly 11 inches of rain in a 24-hour period. In Orange County, I'm Catherine Silver, getting results, News 6.
I mean, it just takes a hurricane like Ian to remind you how delicate and how fragile things really are.
Especially certain pockets of our area.
And that was
too.
one of them.
Yeah, and of course we want you to weigh in on this night's question of the day. How prepared are you for hurricane
We were just talking
season?
about this earlier.
We were. I would not be, I'm not as good as our audience average. They're working on it, okay? You can weigh in right now at clickorlando.com/react. You can also scan that QR code. Close to 500 folks have weighed in so far, and many are kind of in the middle, as I said, working on it. Again, share your opinion right now at clickorlando.com/react.
I need to thinking about it option.
I think when June 1st hits, then I'll be working.
We're all thinking about it. Yeah. The News 6 Pinpoint Weather Team wants to make sure that you are doing more than thinking about it. They want you to know everything you need to stay safe. So tune in to Weathering the Storm, a hurricane special. Chief Meteorologist Tom Searles, Julie, Candace, and the rest of our meteorologists will help you stay prepared, get prepared for what could be a very busy season. Again, that's next Monday night, June 3rd at 8 o'clock.
That's what I was waiting for, to be honest. That's why I haven't done much. I'm waiting for the hurricane special.
How convenient.
You shouldn't do that because you can't always wait on the hurricane special. Sometimes the season jumps the gun.
That's true.
It's looking like this year we're not going to jump the gun, we hope, but come Monday, please watch.
Yeah.
I'm getting my trees trimmed within the next week.
A lot of people are doing
that. I made a call today.
Yeah, my guy came and gave me the estimate yesterday.
Okay.
Wasn't cheap, I might say.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Did you think it would be?
Well,
No,
but everything is more expensive these days, as you know. You know, with inflation globally, even the tree trimmer guy has gone up a little bit in his price. Take a look at what's happening right now on radar. We have the East Coast sea breeze that pushed all the way in here, but is not producing any rain. Nary a drop, nothing falling from the sky. It's going to be a beautiful evening as long as you like it warm. On the Light Orlando camera, I hope this didn't just lock up. Well, gang, I made it very angry. Bear with me. I'm going to step out of the screen for just a second, see if I can make it party. What's
going
wrong?
on? What are you trying to get up there?
I don't think that'll work either because it's not lined up the same. It's very, very angry with Big Daddy Tom, and I don't know what to do. So, guys, I think we're graphically sunk. The heat locked it up. There's nowhere to go, really. I tell you what, guys, I'm going to try to reboot this. We'll be right back. We'll hit a commercial break. I'll see you in a minute. All right. Clouds and rain forecast for tomorrow. A touch of light rain, maybe, probably not. On Friday, rain chances are about 20%. Friday morning, you see the West Coast sea breeze get the early jump and the 2 hit. Boom, right there. That's all the rain we have for you on Friday. Tonight's lows in the 70s, here in Orlando, 72. Here's tomorrow. Daytime high tomorrow goes to 96, kind of like today we hit 97. It's going to be smoking hot all the way until the weekend. Rain chance 20% Friday, 30% next week, but we do get back to normal by Saturday. 90 is normal, so
wow.
Let's dial her down.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Tom, and thank you for watching News 6 at 6:30. Stream News 6 online anytime on our News 6 Plus Smart TV app.
We break news on clickorlando.com. See you back here at 11.
Bye.